Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Friday First Cut series. I am Nidhi Manchanda, a certified financial planner and head of training and development at Financial Hospital. Before making any investment, the first and the most important thing is to find out your risk profile. This is because all the investment should be done based on your risk profile. Very often, people jump directly into investment products by just looking at the returns. This is not the right way of making investments. So, in today's video, we'll understand how to find out your risk profile. In determining your risk profile, you will have to check three main components. These are: first one, your risk capacity. Second one is risk tolerance. And the third one is risk required. Let's start with the first one, that is risk capacity. It means your ability to take risk. Now, how will you find out whether you have a high risk taking capacity or you have a low risk taking capacity? It is based on various factors. Now, these are: first factor is age. Now, if somebody is very young, he has high risk taking capacity. On the other hand, if somebody is closer to retirement, then he has low risk taking capacity. Second is annual income. If someone has limited annual income, it means that this person cannot take very high risk because the income is limited, so cannot take much risk. On the other hand, if you have a substantial annual income, in that case comparatively you can take higher risk. Third one is number of dependents. So if you are someone who has a lot of dependents like your parents, spouse, brother, sister, children, so you have a lot of dependents on your income, in that case you cannot take much risk. So we can say that your risk taking capacity is low. On the other hand, if someone has no dependents or just one or two dependents, in that case this person can take much higher risk. Fourth is accumulated wealth. If you are someone who has accumulated a substantial amount of wealth, you have a high risk taking capacity because you can take that risk of, in case your investments are into losses. On the other hand, if a person doesn't have much of accumulated wealth, he cannot take much of risk. So his risk taking capacity will be low. Fifth one is job security. If you have a job which is secured, you can take higher risk. On the other hand, if your job security is not very high, in that case you have a low risk taking capacity. So this is how you will find out your risk taking capacity. It is also termed as risk appetite. So don't get confused with the name. Risk capacity and risk appetite is one and the same thing. Second component is risk tolerance. It means your willingness to take risk. It deals with your emotional behavior towards risk. Now, there are two ways to find out your risk tolerance. First is check your past investments. So just check where you have already been invested into. If you have invested mostly into fixed deposit or other safer investment options, it means that your risk tolerance is low. On the other hand, if you have invested into direct equity market like share market, or you have invested into equity mutual fund, it means that yes, your risk tolerance is high. Second way is to assume yourself into a situation. So just put yourself into a situation, let's say where you have invested 10 lakh rupees in the share market. And because of the volatility in the market, your 10 lakhs has now become 5 lakhs. Now what will be your behavior towards it? Whether you will feel panic, yes, and you want to sell off all your investment so that your investment doesn't go below 5 lakhs, or on the other hand you are very patient and you feel that yes, I will hold on to this investment till the market recovers. So just find out what is your behavior towards such a scenario. It will give you an idea as in your risk tolerance is high or your risk tolerance is low. Moving on to the third component, which is risk required. In order to achieve your goal, how much risk is required? That is this third component. Let us understand this with the help of an example. Say your goal is to have 20 lakh rupees at the end of 10 years and currently you have 7 lakhs. So you'll invest this 7 lakhs and your goal is that this 7 lakhs become 20 lakhs. So what is the rate of return that you should be earning on this 7 lakhs? So a simple mathematical calculation will give you an answer which is 11%. So if you invest 7 lakhs at 11%, after 10 years you will get 20 lakhs. Now because I'm getting an answer of 11%, I'll have to find out which all investment avenues can give me 11%. Now I can clearly say that yes, if I invest into fixed deposit, I will not be able to earn 11%, which means the risk required for this particular thing is on a higher side. So only if I invest into equity instruments, then I can expect a return of 11%, which means high risk. So this is how you will find out that what is your risk required. Let's say suppose you do a similar calculation where your answer comes to around 4%, which means 4% you can easily get even by investing into a fixed deposit. In that case, we can say the risk required is not very high, it is low. Risk profile is ascertained with the help of a questionnaire, and these questions usually revolve around these three components, that is to find out your risk capacity, your risk tolerance and your risk required. Ultimately, as a result of this questionnaire, you get to know your risk profile, which is broadly either conservative, moderate or aggressive. Once you know your risk profile, the next step is to decide your asset allocation based on your risk profile, and then the last step is to select the investment products. So I hope now risk profiling is clear to you. In order to get your risk profiling done, feel free to get in touch with one of our finance experts who can help you ascertain your own risk profile. For more such videos, do subscribe to our channel.